My video for December the 7th, 2018 is video number 2929, and the title is When Good People Still Believe Lies. Last night, I attended a meeting of the Bruno Circle of Friends hosted by a wonderfully inspirational lady of 89 years. Yes, in her earlier life, she had worked for the State Department. So it was no surprise that she mentioned the Bush Memorial Service aired on national television Wednesday. What really surprised me was that she went on to cite John McCain as another hero. Oh my God. McCain was a traitor who sang like a bird when he was a POW in Viet Nam. Many independent journalists and military veterans have accused McCain of being America's version of Tokyo Rose. Daddy Bush, of course, was the same man who told Sarah McClendon, as cited in her June 1992 newsletter, quote, "If the people were ever to find out what we have done, we would be chased down the streets and lynched," end quote. Shortly after hearing these men praised, the lady sitting next to me asked if I felt the wonderful energy in the room. Yeah, right. I felt like getting up and running out. I did not do that, of course, and the hostess gifted me and all others in the room with presents to honor us. I pondered this bittersweet event all night and decided it would make a worthwhile topic for today's video. Only truth can set us free, and I hope Donald Trump really is draining the swamp, and that we will see the tens of thousands of sealed indictments opened and long-hidden truth revealed about the awful plotting of these demonic deep state elite criminals. Yes, this was the present that I got from the hostess last night, and I was number one because she and I are actually good friends, although when it comes to politics, we certainly are not in the same camp at all. And Bruno's thing is that you focus on the positive, not the negative. And yet, one of the things that was read at the meeting last night, the lady who wrote the piece, who was not in the room, a lady from another country, whatever. She wrote about negative experiences and then the negative energy, and did that a few times in the article that was read to all of us in the meeting last night. So the idea of avoiding the negative is actually a very negative thing, because you don't fix anything by pretending the problem doesn't exist. It doesn't work with disease, and it doesn't work with problems that we face in our lives. We have to address the issue. When my car wouldn't start, I had to address the issue. And speaking of my car not starting, I got a wonderful gift, which I'm holding up here, a gift card that will enable me to buy gifts for my grandchildren, which is another interesting thing, because part of the gift in that box that I just held up was the joyous gift of grandparents. So this was from the same lady who gifted all, as I said, gifted all of us. There were 20 people in the room, and she had gifts for every one of us. I mean, what a thoughtful human being she is. And I really, really do appreciate her, although I did not appreciate, especially, I mean, I could understand while it was fresh in the mind, the funeral service for George Bush, and I had other people that in the apartment where I live also say that it was a wonderful a wonderful service. Of course, I'll never know because I wouldn't watch stuff like that. I have no inclination to listen to somebody being honored and praised who I know was a charlatan who was involved in the assassination of John F. Kennedy. He was on the scene at the time and photographed on the scene. Of course, he exercised plausible deniability afterwards, but nevertheless, that's the reality. And about John McCain, I mean, my goodness, the people that were in prison with him, now, of course, they've have people, and I looked it up before I made this video, there's people that are debunking the debunking. There's always going to be those that try to spin it another way to make people that do terrible things look good. And the Bushes are among those, the Clintons are among those, McCain, of course, and many others in high positions of power, which is why I'd like to see what Donald Trump is, what people that support Donald Trump are claiming is happening. I'd like to see all of these tens of thousands of sealed indictments opened, and a lot of these criminals, the deep state criminals, the elite establishment, if you will, I'd like to see them exposed and brought down and either repent or be taken out. I'd like to see Guantanamo peopled by these criminals that have been in high places and have overrun human rights and human values for a long, long time. And I'd like to see it happen not just in the United States, but around the world. I'd like to see the Vatican taken out, because the Vatican has been a big part of it. The royal families of Europe, especially England, but not only England, have been tremendously involved in all sorts of corrupt activities against human beings. And they have demoted human beings to becoming lost at sea, dead at sea, and turned us into corporations, which means corpse, folks. It means we're dead. As far as they're concerned, we have no human rights. We are dead entities. These are things that we need to become aware of. But of course, the mainstream media has a vested interest in hiding these things from public purview. And yet, the very things that we need to look at, they tell us, well, you shouldn't focus on the negative things. That is a doctrine of devils, folks. That is one of the worst lies told by spiritual charlatans who may mean well, but where does it go? It leads to cover-ups, and the cover-ups have been enormous of what our leaders have been doing to humanity. Not just Black people, not just Native Americans, not just indigenous peoples from any place, but all humanity. Red and yellow, black and white, all humanity has been enslaved by these demonic entities, this deep state elite that has been running roughshod over humanity for eons, folks. Is there going to be corrective action taken? I want the living God, the actual original creator, to take responsibility for creation. It's not my responsibility to fix anything unless I can be empowered to do so. And I'm not, or at least I don't think I am yet. I have to have more awakening myself. I'm not there yet. That's what I'm saying. So I really do appreciate some of the things that happened yesterday, and I see my time is up, so I'm going to have to say goodbye for now. Thank you for listening, and namaste.